Man, it feels good to hear that jingle, doesn't it? Welcome everybody to a black screen. No, welcome everybody to Sonic Mania. I'm your host, Raga. Thanks for stopping by. That's it. That's just the video, the title screen. Alright, video's over. No, welcome to Let's Play Sonic Mania. This is a game that is on the lovely Switch, as you can see here. It's pretty nice. And this is honestly one of my favorite Switch games. I've been playing a lot of it recently. I've been playing a lot of it since it came out, actually. Well, not a lot of it since it came out, but a decent amount. So I'm gonna restart this test file here, and of course I've got to play as my boy Tails. In awe of the fluff on this lad. Absolute unit. Or however that meme goes. I don't even know. So if you guys actually missed out on Sonic Mania when it came out last year, you guys might be in for a treat. Or you guys might just be like, oh, we hate Sonic, why are you not playing any Final Fantasy? I'm probably gonna do a session of Final Fantasy IX after I record this. But I just want to do like a quicko LP, and what's faster than Sonic? What's quicker than Sonic the Hedgehog? He's the fastest thing alive. Which is why we're not playing as him. Oh man, it feels really weird to be playing this on the TV though. Normally I'd be playing this in handheld mode since it's on the Switch. But we're not gonna do that. So, I guess the stipulation here is, I'm gonna do special stages when I see them. The bonus stages, however, the blue sphere stages that you get from the checkpoints, I'm not going to be doing, because I've only got one left, and it's arguably one of the hardest ones. And I'm not too worried about it. I'm not necessarily that worried about the special stages either, but I'm a little more worried about them than I am the blue sphere bonuses. So in case you've missed Sonic Mania when this game came out, controls pretty much like the old Sega Genesis Sonic games. You move around, you jump. When you're jumping, you can attack enemies. And each one of the characters does have their own special abilities, which I'll talk about after this bonus stage. Forgot that Act 1 of Green Hill Zone is, well, quick. Quick man. Alright, so the special stages work kinda like the special stages in Sonic CD, but actually good. I am not a big fan of Sonic CD special stages, but I actually do like Sonic Mania special stages a lot. I think it's because they just feel better because of like the 3D movement than Sonic CD special stages did. The objective is, of course, to build enough speed to catch the UFO. At Mach 2, you move slightly faster than the UFO, making it a little easier to catch it. At Mach 3, however, you move very fast, sometimes a little hard to control. And that's neither here nor there. We got the first Chaos Emerald. If I don't end up getting all the Chaos Emeralds in this run, I will probably just load... Oh, there's a springboard there. I thought, oh, is there a secret ledge? No, it was just a springboard. Dodge the chameleons, and head on over to the first boss of the game. It's the Checkered Wrecker. Well, maybe not. Of course, every Sonic game has to have like this as the boss of Green Hill Zone. But like in Sonic 3, there's actually two bosses for each zone. There's a mid-boss at the end of the first act, and a main boss at the end of the second act. Mid-bosses are usually, but not necessarily, pretty easy, and why did I not spin dash there? That was weird, Tails. You wanted to fly? You wanted to try to find a secret? There we go, sit in the corner and spin dash. It's like Sonic Chaos all over again. And did I position her? Oh no. If I had positioned that the signpost between those two flowers that I'm standing in front of. The two purple ones, I think that's a ring boost or a barrier. I can't remember, but I got it once and I'm just like, oh yeah, I did a cool thing. It's all about doing the cool things, man. There we go. Dodging that guy. So every act also kind of changes things up a little bit. Now, Act 1 of Green Hill Zone, or actually just Green Hill Zone in general, is honestly the most tame zone out of all of the, like, returning zones. It functions very much like it did in the original Genesis game, which, I mean, I'm a fan of. I'm gonna collect some more rings. And then points. There we go. But that's a cool new thing. So your shields actually have a lot more interaction with the environment now, which is nice. The fire shield here that we have, if we were playing as Sonic, we'd have an air dash. But this renders us pretty much immune to all the enemy bullets, and we can burn certain things like the spike bridges. The water shield down there would allow us to survive underwater indefinitely, and if we were Sonic, we'd basically have the bounce bracelet. And the lightning shield, which we have not gotten yet, automatically attracts rings to you. It's the same as the magnetic barrier in a lot of later Sonic games. I say later Sonic games as if I'm playing Sonic 3 here. But we're not playing Sonic 3. We're playing Sonic 2. I'm sorry, it's very difficult for me to, like, actually explain the things when this game moves a mile a minute. Also, speaking of moving a mile a minute, we actually beat the Death Egg Robo pretty quickly. I wish I could do that in Sonic 2. I wish that boss was, like, fun in Sonic 2. I love Sonic 2, but fuck the final boss of that game, man. Alright. But here I have Dr. Eggman's new cronies, the hard-boiled heavies, and the Phantom Ruby, which bends time and space, and warps us to Sonic 2. Love that. Alright, so welcome to Chemical Plant Zone. I guess now that I'm here I can explain a few of the character differences as well. So there are, of course, 3 characters, 3 good boys to play as: Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and you also have the option of playing as Sonic with Tails following behind, a la Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. And I actually want to get up here. I don't know if there's anything worth getting at. Oh, there's a super ring. I want that. I'll explain what the super ring does after I explain the characters, I guess. Sonic himself is naturally the fastest, but has no special mid-air movement techniques without the use of a shield. He gets the air dash from the fire shield, bounce from the water shield, and a double jump from the lightning shield. New in this game, Sonic also has the ability to drop dash by pressing and holding jump right as you're in a jump. And this will cause Sonic to immediately spin dash when he lands. It's actually really useful. Tails here, meanwhile, has the ability to fly and the ability to swim in water. He doesn't gain any special new mobility attributes from all the cool barriers and stuff. He's just Tails. He's just chilling out. Gonna kill the Spike guy. Spiky me no likey. Knuckles, meanwhile, is a little bit slow and doesn't jump as high as Sonic, but on the other hand, he has the ability to glide, which gives him a fair amount of horizontal travel time, and has the ability to climb walls as well. There are also certain barricades that Sonic and Tails have to spin dash through. Knuckles doesn't. Knuckles can just run through them. Now, of course, one of the reasons why I'm playing as Tails, aside from the fact that he is my favorite character, is the fact that he can fly. It's very handy, very useful, very expensive. I do not have a very good Mr. Tink, I'm sorry. Very similar to the Sonic Advance games, though. The rotors on his tails can actually damage enemies in this game. I don't remember if they could do that in Sonic 3. I know they couldn't in Sonic 2, because he couldn't fly in Sonic 2. And he definitely couldn't do them in Sonic Chaos, which I believe that was the first game to give him the flight? Sonic Chaos is a weird-ass game, though. Speaking of weird-ass, it's time for the mid-boss. Oh, right, we demonstrated what the Super Ring does. Super Ring makes it so that when you get hit by a ring, all of your rings drop as big rings instead. The amount of the big rings are worth depends on how many rings you've actually picked up. And it's actually possible for you to drop, say, 100 rings, then pick up your big rings and get an extra 1-up from it. It's actually a pretty cool twist. I'm being a little bit too safe on this boss and still dying. Still dying horribly. There we go. Not a fan of that boss. I am a fan of going to the next stage, though, and I actually am a big fan of the next boss. The Chemical Plant Act 2 boss. Well, I say I'm a big fan of the concept of the Act 2 boss. I'll just address right now that I am terrible at the game it's based on. And it is a pretty big shout out to old Sega game. Though I believe the actual company was... You know what, I'm not even gonna spoil what the actual company was. You thought I was gonna do it, but nope, I'm too smart for that. Do I even need to be, like, coy about it anymore? Like, everyone knows I'm talking about the Mean Bean Machine fight. And I guess if you've never seen this game, spoiler. The boss in this stage is actually pretty heavily based off of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. It's got a few little nods here and there. Right, there we go. That's where we're going. So, I guess also to talk about it, each stage is basically 2 acts, and each one of the acts functions a little bit differently, with Act 1 generally being based off of a gimmick from the zone's original appearance, and Act 2 usually being based off of a completely new gimmick. Now, there are exceptions to this. Obviously, the completely new zones do not add... you don't have to worry about, oh, they're gonna reuse an old gimmick from the zone it's based on, because it's just like, no. I mean, they may reuse an old gimmick, but it's not from that zone, because that zone has never appeared before. And I believe there's one zone a little bit later on that actually reverses the trend, where the new gimmick it introduces is in the first act, and the old gimmicks are in the second act. So as you can see, these syringes will fill up the chemicals with colors. Sonic colors. When they're blue, when they're light blue, they're slightly bouncy. When they're green, they are very bouncy. And when they're blue, they will hurt you. Oh, wow, I actually timed that right this time. Usually I end up falling into the sadness. Now this was a part that kind of took me a while to figure out the first time I played it, because just like, okay, well, I triggered that. Where do I go? The answer is you actually go up there. It's a little bit hard to see, but I guess to be fair, it's only green in that specific area, so you'll figure it out eventually. In due time, fate will be sealed. And this should be the tube to the boss fight? Yeah! So remember when I said that this boss was going to be a reference to Mean Bean Machine? I lied. This boss just straight up is a Mean Bean Machine round. And Mean Bean Machine is a game that I actually really like. I like Puyo Puyo. I am awful at Puyo Puyo, though. There are games that I am good at, and Puyo is not one of them. Puzzle games in general, I'm a little bit too stupid for puzzle games. That's alright. I mean, if I want to feel better, like, Robotnik over there isn't going to be doing very well either. Yeah, there we go. And that shoots us out right to the end. He's so happy. So happy. I love it. But we take the tube and head out to a completely new and completely awesome zone, Studiopolis. Alright, so Studiopolis has a few gimmicks that we haven't seen yet, including these bumpers. Very casino-y bumpers. I can take this as something of a shortcut. Yeah, there we go. Except I actually need to spring the right way and have enough momentum. Alright, well, I thought I was going to show off cool tricks. I'm not. There's no cool tricks to be had. Not in the Tales Fly Rocket channel. I'm lame. And bad at games. There's a lot of, like, cool stuff going on in the zone, and like, I honestly thought that, okay, well, they've shown off this zone. This is probably going to be, like, the peak of the cool new stuff they've added in. No, there's still cool stuff later on. There's still a lot of cool stuff later on. But, like, the feel of this zone is great, and I really think that it captures, like, the kind of 90s aesthetic really well. And there is a dog barking downstairs. It's wonderful. Great commentary. I should bring the dog up here. The dog will give us fantastic commentary, which consists of borf borf. But just like, I don't know, this is just a very aesthetically pleasing zone. It's very 90s, and I like that. Oh, second special ring. Alright. This one's gonna be a little bit tougher. The colors here actually remind me a lot of Gigapolis Zone from Sonic Chaos. I need rings. You are rings. But I need more. If Sonic touches, like, Ring Man, do you think he'd just immediately disappear? Should Sonic and Mega Man team up in, like, an actual game and do that joke? Wouldn't mind. Some of the Sonic games are pretty funny. And I mean, like, intentionally funny and not accidentally. Oh, there's this big, stupid glitch, and I'm gonna just fly off into low Earth orbit. Not like that kind of funny. Like, some of them are actually... Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors is a very funny game. It has a lot of cheesy humor, but it also has a lot of, like, really good humor, mostly from Eggman. Like, the theme park announcements that Eggman makes, I think that's, like, one of the best things that they've done in a Sonic game. Let's take the chair. Better off taking the bus. Now, I've been playing more as Sonic recently rather than Tails, so unfortunately I have to remember I don't have my drop dash. But I do have a boss fight. Alright, here we are, the first hard-boiled heavy of the game, Heavy Gunner. And he's kind of an interesting boss. You don't actually, like, directly fight him. Instead, you, well, cause his missiles to give him much sadness. Then there's a little break for rings. And I don't know, this is a cool looking boss fight. It's not my favorite though. I think I like the boss, like the actual boss of this zone a lot more than I like the mid-boss fight. Because depending on what you do, this mid-boss can also like take a while as well. Like I think half of our stage's timer is going to be this boss. Go. We've only got one more hit. One more and the choppa goes down. You go crazy with them choppas. If only you weren't technically in the background so I can hit you. That would be great. Oh no, you're the one I need. You're the one that I want. There we go. Thankfully the timer stops when you land the final hit, so that ain't bad. Here's the end of the stage. Do a little happy dance. He blinks! The signpost blinks! That's really weird. But now we've got Egg TV. Alright, so Studiopolis Zone Act 2 introduces a few new things. It has like more tubes to move around in. More spring dashy parts, more bumpers, more these balloons. But I don't know, it's hard to describe, like, because it's not just one overlaying gimmick for Studiopolis Zone, it's like a bunch of them that kind of merge together really well. Like the bouncy balls and the bumpers and stuff. And a lot of it is just like your typical casino level gimmicks. Like, the tubes I was just riding on, I wouldn't really call those like a main overlaying gimmick, it's just a pathway. This is kind of a gimmick though, these little funnels you see. Right into a zoop tube. And into our next special stage. Why did I call it a zoop tube? Is that actually the name of it? A zoop tube? I doubt it. Because this is a very 90s aesthetic stage, too. I'm gonna get 3 Chaos Emeralds in the first recording session. I don't know how I'm gonna break these videos up, by the way, because I could do it every 3 zones and do like a 4-part LP. But at the same time, like, the later zones get a lot longer. I mean, I guess to be fair, we've got this to fill. Like, fill air. We need the rings there. Now we just need speed. Oh yeah, you can just go through pillars. It's great. Fantastic. The Pillars of Our Society. The Pillars? I love that band! Alright, so now that we're at Mach 3, it's very easy to catch up to the UFO. But very difficult to control yourself. Alright, so that's 3 Chaos Emeralds right off the bat, but those are also the easiest ones to get. So, like, I'm not too surprised about getting them, because they're easy. The next Chaos Emerald, though, I can guarantee you I'm not going to have a fun time with Special Stage 4. When Shadow asks about that damn 4th Chaos Emerald, he is not kidding. Not at all. Spring up. Do a little bit of spring cleaning. Zoop. There we go. And see, that's what gonna be a zoop loop. Because when you're on that, you just go zoop. That's how it works. Alright? It doesn't work nearly as well if you don't zoop. Alright? So you gotta zoop. This is the dumbest. But I don't care because I'm having fun. That's not to say that, like, oh, Final Fantasy IX isn't fun, but Final Fantasy IX feels more like, I don't know. It's like, I have to focus a lot in Final Fantasy IX on, like, oh, there's the story beats, and I don't want to, like, interrupt all these great moments and stuff. But with this, Sonic Mania is just a game that's just like, hey, buddy, you wanna play some Sonic? And I'm just like, yeah, I wanna play some Sonic. What is... Did you guys see the item box's corpse there? That was silly. See? I'm having fun. And now we're gonna go on to a boss fight. Alright, this is the weather boss. And it's pretty easy to cheese if you're playing as Tails. Except when you accidentally fly above Dr. Eggman. But see, we did it after one cycle. It's great. And that's gonna be the end of this video, so stay tuned when we get to the next zone.